Hello everyone. Our lesson for today is all about the normal or standard consistency of cement test procedure. And to start with, let us have a short introduction. Standard consistency of cement, it is actually a test procedure wherein we are always using a BICAT apparatus. Standard or normal consistency. Hi guys, in this article, we'll know about standard or normal consistency of cement test procedure and result with BICAT apparatus with plunger. Let's start with this, guys. Consistency is defined as the way in which a substance holds together, thickness or viscosity. When we mix water in cement, it provides perfect uniform viscosity, yet it is good for construction work. As we know, cement is made of finer particles, so all the particles of cement are held between water particles together and make a uniform piece of cement. This is a sample picture of our BICAT apparatus, wherein we can always apply the consistency test of cement. And then we have the following parts of our BICAT apparatus. We have the cup lobe, the plunger, the glass plate, including the mold. Generally, standard consistency of cement test is done by BICAT apparatus, consists of BICAT instrument, the mold cement specimen, the plunger, weight balance, and water measuring cylinder. The consistency of cement is defined as the minimum quantity of water added in cement to form uniform paste that provide sufficient viscosity and desirable strength for different type of structural work. Adding less or excess amount of water in cement causes reduction in its strength. Now, in this article, we will study more about cement normal or standard consistency and test procedure, and result by BICAT apparatus. Let us now discuss this one by one. What is the standard consistency of cement? A minimum quantity of water in percentage added to cement that initiate the chemical reaction between water and cement to form a uniform paste of sufficient viscosity and desirable strength is known as the consistency of cement. Cement standard consistency test is done by BICAT apparatus. Consists of BICAT apparatus, the plunger, BICAT mold, scale and weighing balance, measuring cylinder, and of course, the glass plate. Standard consistency of cement is defined as the minimum quantity of water required for cement to form uniform paste that provides sufficient viscosity, which will allow the BICAT plunger to penetrate to 5 to 7 millimeters point from the bottom and 33 to 35 millimeters from top of BICAT cement mold according to standard condition of temperature and humidity. Now, the question is, what is the standard or normal consistency of cement? The answer must be the following. The standard or normal consistency of ordinary Portland cement is varying between 25 to 30%. Not less than 25, but not more than 30%. Why standard consistency of cement varies? Cement standard consistency is varying because of weather conditions, the temperature, humidity, excessive composition of silica in cement, the fineness of cement must also be considered, and we know that cement are provided and made by different companies have some different consistency. The standard consistency of cement importance. As we all familiar that strength of concrete and cement mortar depends on water-cement ratio from our previous lessons. So right amount of water percentage is necessary in the concrete mix to gain accurate strength. The quality material used in concrete and cement mortar, cement is one of them. In order to attain the required sufficient cement strength, we need to add the right amount of water. Water less than the normal or standard consistency would not initiate the chemical reaction between water and cement, resulting reduction in the strength of cement. Excess or less percentage of water added to cement, resulting strength reduction. That's why it is important to know the standard consistency of cement or the normal consistency of cement. Why is consistency of cement test done? We know that the cement we use on our site is mostly affected by weather conditions, temperature, and humidity. Excessive composition of silica. Silica is one of the cement ingredients which determines the initial and final setting time of cement base and the fineness of cement. By standardizing the consistency of cement, we know that how much of water is required to produce an effective cement viscosity, which will eventually produce good quality of cement mortar and concrete. For calculating the exact quantity of water, percentage should be added with cement to perform good concrete. Cement consistency test should be done. Standard consistency of an ordinary Portland cement varies between 25 to 30%. That means we need minimum 25% of water and maximum 30% in volume to make cement paste. For example, if we need to calculate the amount of water required for a 300 grams of cement, which has minimum 25% consistency, means then we need 25% of 300 grams, which is equal to 75 grams of water. Minimum and maximum 30% of 300 is 90 grams to prepare a cement standard consistency. Standard consistency of cement test with BICAT apparatus. Let us now do the lab test, and these are the procedure of how to find the normal or standard cement consistency. All the tests should be done at the standard method. First, we have to consider the environmental factors should be done at normal condition. Temperature should be 27 plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius, or ranging from 25 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. And humidity should be 90% above. These are the two important environmental factors which are responsible for standard consistency calculation. Not only considering the environmental factors, but we also have to consider the objective of cement consistency test. The aim of this consistency test is to find the basic required percentage quantity of water to form a cement paste of uniform viscosity according to specified by IS Code 4031, Part 4 of year 1988, which the BICAT planger will penetrate in BICAT mold specimen of cement to 5-7 millimeter point to the bottom or 33 to 35 millimeters from top of the BICAT mold. Then we also have to consider the apparatus required, and these are the following. We have to consider the weighing balance with a capacity of 1 kilogram or 1,000 gram with 0 gram error accuracy. Measuring cylinder of 200 milliliters for measuring of water quantity. BICAT apparatus consists of glass plate, the scale, the cup load, and planger, and BICAT mold general planger should be 50 millimeters height and 10 millimeters diameters, and BICAT mold size is 80 millimeters diameter and 40 millimeters in height. Again, we have these are given BICAT apparatus, including its different parts: the glass plate, the flanger, the cup load, and the mold. For our standard consistency of cement test procedure. Now do the test procedure to find out normal or standard cement consistency in following steps. Take rest quantity of 300 grams of cement and place it in a bowl or tray. Assume standard consistency, 25 to 30% of water. Measure 75 grams to 90 grams of water. First, we mix 75 grams, 25% of cement, of water in cement and mix properly. If cement paste is not uniform, then add extra amount of water, increasing up to 30%. Care should be taken that cement paste should be ready in just 3 to 5 minutes. The time taken to obtain cement paste after adding water is also known as gogging time. Now fill the cement paste in bicut mold up to the level, and care should be taken that remain part of excessive cement paste taken off by using towel. Now put the bicut mold specimen on glass plate centrally to the direction of the plunger just below. Now release the plunger to penetrate cement mold specimen after a few seconds. Measurements of depth of penetration should be done. Note down the reading on the bicut measuring scale. Result of cement consistency test. At about 28% of water quantity of cement are sufficient to form cement paste, which allow the bicut plunger will penetrate in bicut mold specimen of cement to 5 to 7 millimeters point to the bottom or 33 to 35 millimeters from top of bicut mold. So consistency of cement must be 28% then. The precautions of test procedure. The test should be conducted at room temperature. The humidity of the room should be 90% and temperature should be 27 plus or minus of 2 degrees Celsius. The process of mixing should be made on glass sheet. Thank you very much and God bless us all.